Let's update you on the standings. After 16 events on the women's side, it is still very tight. Arkansas with 1-point lead over LSU. This is just as tight as we expected it to be. But Georgia just 5 points back, or 6 points, I should say, off the lead in third, tied with Texas A&M for fourth. Only 9 points separating first from fifth as we get ready for the women's 200 meters. Debbie Ferguson, one of the Golden Girls who went to Georgia, has the SEC record. Shawnee Miller, the best time in the country this year at 22:61. Both legal and wind aided. And this is Kamaria Brown, the sophomore from Texas A&M, who we already saw in the 400 really make a move in that straightaway to try to win it. And then miss everything. Kimberlyn Duncan, this is her event. The Texas Relays champion in the 100, but she owns the 200. This is her signature event. She's built perfectly for it. Strong, everything you want to have in a 200-meter runner. She's got the speed, she's got the strength.
It was a striking scene. Kimberlyn Duncan absolutely terrorized the first half of this 200-meter race and got a commanding lead.
Going back and looking at that race, I remember actually talking to myself before I got ready to go, because I'm like, it's your last one, your last indoor 200, so you have to go out here and just work it. You have to go out here and work as hard as you can and just get the race done with from the get-go. And I feel like I did that, and I was very pleased with the results that I had. So I was excited about that race. That's one of the races that I will never forget because of how I was feeling before, during, and after the whole race.
And she had some performance at this meet last year, winning the 100, the 200, and both relays as well. She is the anchor of this team, the leader of this team, and look at all of the things. And this is only part of what she's done. 7 times an NCAA champion is Kimberlyn Duncan, and I think world championship and Olympic teams are in her future.
She will be running out of lane 5. Kamaria Brown will be inside her. Duncan not faster than she was last year. As a matter of fact, she's probably a little slower for a whole host of reasons, but just wants to be a little more rested as she heads into maybe her professional career after the NCAA championships.
Can't miss her in the middle of the track in the purple of LSU, and she's already making up the stagger on Felicia Brown to her outside. But Kamaria Brown right there. She's not going to just hand it to Duncan, but Duncan is a fierce competitor. They come off the turn with Duncan just a little bit ahead, and Kamaria Brown trying to make a move, but it just isn't there. Duncan shifts into another gear to finish. It's going to be Duncan winning another SEC title, and Kamaria Brown of Texas A&M, maybe the heir apparent in this conference at this distance, finishing second.
And an excellent time. I think she's pretty delighted with that. 22.35 seconds unofficially is her time. And that is excellent time. I mean, for her, it is a half a second improvement this year and close to her lifetime best. She gets out well. I was interested to see if Brown could stay close and then had the stamina from running 400 meters to maybe get even with her down the last 50 meters, but she could not. It was all Duncan. Duncan ran the turn really hard, just like she did indoors at the NCAA championships, and held off Kamaria Brown of Texas A&M. A superb time. This is a big step. She'll be, I think, delighted with her performance here at 200 meters today. That is easily the best time in the SEC, and it is the best time in the United States for a collegiate woman by about a quarter of a second.
And that is absolutely true, Larry. Under all conditions, that's the best time in the country this year. Kamaria Brown and Ashton Purvis got 14 points for A&M, and then added Olivia Ekpone and a 7th place finish, so they got 16 points for A&M, and that vaults them into first place after 17 events. They're now 1 point ahead of LSU, so boy, did LSU need those 10 points for Kimberlyn Duncan. And Arkansas just 8 points back, but there's not many events left, and Lewis is once again downstairs with Kimberlyn Duncan.
Yeah, Dwight, I was about to say, it's Kimberlyn Duncan again. We actually saw a smile on on your face and a clap. Was that because you saw the time or the last race? What do you think?
My time, I've been waiting on my time to come down for a long time, so I'm happy that it did.
Where are you emotionally? Because you just ran your last SEC race of your career.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be able to run at LSU. And for this being my last one, it's bittersweet, but I enjoy being here.
You've done a lot of running in this season, indoor, and now you'll have more outdoor. But tell me about your thoughts looking forward, because you're clearly going to be an athlete on the world stage, World and Olympics, and there is a Worlds this summer in Moscow.
I'm excited to be able to compete with some of the great athletes out here, professional athletes. So I'm just going to go prepare for the rest of the season and get ready to go.
All right. Thanks for all the great races and the great memories, Kimberlyn.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, that 22:35 ties the SEC record of Debbie Ferguson. She's the #1 American in 2013, and that's the second fastest time in the world in 2013. And she's just getting going. 3 weeks to the NCAA meet, 5 weeks to the national championships, where they will choose the world championship team. I would not bet against her being on that team.